Hey guys, so today I wanted to, of course, address the title, How Girls Created Fuckboys. Now, I've done videos talking about fuckboys before, and I got some really interesting comments, really cool feedback on that video, actually from men, and of course from women as well, just giving their own thoughts, opinions, and life experiences. And I have some bad news for you guys. Now, this is something I already knew, but it was kind of just ingrained in me from reading all those comments, from talking to guy friends, from just having conversations with my friends in real life about situations they've had with men and boys. And first things first, just so we get this clear out in the open, a fuckboy in this way I'm going to be speaking about them is not someone that you date that is actively hooking up with other girls and cheating on you and doing that kind of stuff. That would just be like a piece of shit person. A fuckboy is someone that you are seeing, romantically connected with, that it's kind of in the stage before you're officially like boyfriend and girlfriend. Like I said, if you're officially like boyfriend and girlfriend and that boyfriend is, cheating on you, seeing other girls, having sex with other girls behind your back, like I said, that's not a fuckboy. That's just like a piece of shit person. But again, fuckboy is what I think happens to be in a lot of situations in today's environment where people aren't quite in that circumstance of actually being officially dating, but they're kind of in that weird stage before you actually date where you're learning about people and you kind of decide if you actually want to date that person. And I have heard so many stories about girls that have met this great guy. He's so awesome. They're talking, everything's going well. And then randomly one day they find out about all the other girls that he's sleeping with behind their back that they didn't know about. And again, no judgment here. I think if you're someone who's into that, you like casual sex, you like having kind of that hookup culture, that's fine. I just think that it really needs to be on both ends. Both people need to be aware what the situation is, what's going on for your health. I think, number one, but also for, your heart and your own feelings and all that kind of stuff. It just gets really messy when people don't disclose what's actually going on, because the thing is, people always find out. That's just the way that it is. And especially, I think, when the girls kind of know something is going on. Don't underestimate a woman that has a hunch about something, because she's gonna figure it out. So I want to tell you guys a little bit of a story, and then also just a little bit of my own gathering on what I believe about this topic and how we can actually fix it and how we can take away the power from fuckboys. Because let's be honest, I have met and heard and seen so many amazing, beautiful, really smart, talented, wonderful women get screwed over by these guys, and a lot of it is their own fault, unfortunately, and a lot of it is the fault of other women. Now, what that means is a fuckboy can't really operate the way that he does if there are not girls to allow that. I think my best advice for someone that doesn't want to be screwed over, doesn't want to be played a fool, and doesn't want to get their time wasted by a fuckboy is to respect yourself. Be a valuable person, have a mental connection, a chemistry that's deeper than just physical stuff, because at the end of the day, every girl can offer sex, and that is not going to make you any more special than the other girl that just slept with him the night before. And that's blunt, but it's the sad fact, and it's very true. And, for me, sex is something very personal. I've always been interested in being with someone in a committed relationship and having that be, of course, an important part of your relationship. But I have never believed in using sex as a way to get a guy to like you or to stay with you or to commit to you. I think that is a horrible idea, and it's pretty much always going to backfire, because that's not enough. That's not going to create that true chemistry and connection that you need for a relationship. I know there are a lot of girls that like to sleep with guys, and they say they don't want a relationship, they're not looking for that, it's just fun and whatever. And if that's you, this video probably isn't for you, because you don't relate to the topic. But most girls that I know, in the back of their minds, they do want a relationship. They do want to be with the guy that they are sleeping with, hooking up with, spending time on, giving their emotional energy to. Ultimately, they want something to come out of it. And if you don't, and you're not interested in that, like I said, this video doesn't really pertain to your own practices, and do your own thing. That's all good. It doesn't really affect me, so it doesn't matter. And from speaking with so many different guys and men and friends and family members, I have really realized that a girl that respects themselves, has boundaries, and just kind of makes it a bit more difficult for a guy to get sex and that kind of stuff. is more well respected and held to a higher standard by guys if they're sleeping with a bunch of people at one time. And unfortunately, like I said, in our dating life right now, it's so easy to find someone. It's so simple to connect with someone if all you want is a hookup. And that can be just really hurtful if you're not ready for that and you don't know that that's going on. So into the little story time, my friend told me I could share her story, but let's just be honest, this is a story that I've heard a lot, and I'm sure it has happened to some of you as well, or maybe you've been the other girl on the other side of this. And number one, I want to pose a question as to if you're someone that likes, casual stuff and you think that having sex with a guy is going to lead to a relationship, it's going to create one, has that worked for you? Number one, have you ever had success in that? I personally don't know anyone that started out that way that actually ended up getting the guy. Same with, I don't know, any of the mistresses of, guys that have girlfriends and cheat on them. I don't know any of them that then end up replacing the girlfriend, because at the end of the day, relationships are complex and they don't just revolve around sex. And so many girls in this day and age, I feel like, think that their sexuality, what they look like, how sexually adventurous they are, is going to win a guy over, when it's just not. And you can save yourself that heartbreak and also, kind of that humiliation and that feeling and, kind of that effect, because it just doesn't work like that. Guys' brains aren't like that. And, this is advice that I would tell, my younger sisters, like, don't do that, because it doesn't end up well. And at the end of the day, it's probably going to make you feel kind of bad about yourself. So into the story. So I had a girlfriend that was talking to this guy, and again, they were in the talking stage. Although for me, and like in my own personal opinion, the talking stage is very important, because if someone doesn't act very good in that stage, it's a little difficult to kind of be able to decide what kind of partner they're going to be when you're actually in a relationship. I'm a big fan of talking to people for a while, getting to really know them, kind of feeling that out, feeling that vibe out, and deciding if you think this person is a good person before you take that leap of, being intimate and then of course, having a full-fledged relationship. So my friend was talking to this guy. They had had a bit of a conversation about if they were seeing other people or what was going on, which again, I think is really important. I think it's a little bit difficult to talk about that because it's awkward, and there always is, the fact that the other person might say, yeah, I'm sleeping with other people. I'm not, only with you. I'm not focusing on getting to know only you, but at least you would know that, and at least you then could kind of even the playing field, and if that's something you want to do too, you could do that, or if, maybe those don't align with your own standards and morals, you can kind of cut that guy loose and just not worry about it. So they had had that conversation, and he had said, I'm not really the type to hook up, I'm not really into that, I'm really busy, I'm really focused on my stuff, and I just don't really have time for that kind of stuff. I am interested in having a girlfriend and getting to know you really deeply and, possibly seeing where this could go. Okay, all is fine and well. They go on for a little while, and suddenly there's one day where this guy tells her early in the morning that he's going to be moving out of his apartment. So he's going to be like packing and doing a bunch of stuff, and he is not going to be able to text that day. So to most people, that's kind of a signal that this person doesn't want you to be texting them. Now, they had a relationship where they were constantly texting and calling, they were always in contact, so that was kind of red flag number one. And when she told me the story, I already knew where that was going. I already knew that if this is someone that you talk to a lot, you guys are always in contact, and then randomly they give you some weird time set of, hey, I can't talk for this many hours or whatever, something is a little bit weird. Of course, everyday life can happen, people can be on planes, all that kind of stuff, but that wasn't the scenario. So this was a little bit strange. So what ended up happening, of course, was they didn't talk. The next day came and went, and she said she just had a weird feeling. Something was just weird. And I said, oh, well, do you think he was with another girl? Now, this really upset my friend. This kind of offended her, and I had to back up where I was coming from. I just said, look, in my experience in life, if that happens and you have that weird feeling, you should follow that, because your intuition as a female is something very important and something you shouldn't take lightly. Come to find out, a few days later, she was able to do a little investigating and stuff, and she was able to find that a girl that this guy had mentioned previously, kind of in passing, like, oh yeah, that's some girl that really likes me, that's some girl that, I've met only a few times, she's no big deal, I'm interested in you, whatever. This girl had come up in conversation before. And so I told her that that is a clear signal that there's probably more to that story. If he's mentioned her before and he's kind of downplaying her, that's like so textbook classic, like, oh my gosh. Anyways, long story short, she ended up finding out that this girl had posted an Instagram story with that guy, like the side of his head. He wasn't tagged, but she obviously knows him. She could tell it was him. And a picture of like coffee, and it said like the morning after or something. So clearly this girl had slept over with that guy that she thought she was like really getting to know, really focusing on, and kind of having this one-on-one situation when that wasn't it at all. And you know, who knows, there probably were multiple other girls at that. She did confront the guy about it, and he basically said, oh, it didn't matter, like that girl was just asking to come over, she was really, really begging to see me, and so I just did, okay? So at the end of the day, there are going to be girls that are going to be willing to, you know, sleep with a guy or do something like that, even if they're not getting anything out of it. And you know, when I heard this story, I was like, you know what, you gotta take that up with the guy, because number one, he's doing something negative to you, but he's also doing something negative to that other girl, because she probably doesn't think she's just, you know, a hookup if she's making an Instagram story with him and stuff. She probably thinks she's emotionally invested in him and having this relationship or getting to a relationship or whatever. So it was kind of just a sad situation all around, and I have to say that my advice on this is to just be cautious, to just be smart and use your brain, and if something feels off, it probably is, unfortunately, as sad as that is. And then for girls out there, I really would love to know, like, if you can get the vibe that a guy is maybe seeing multiple women, he's not being super honest with you, then why would you then like want to sleep with him? Why would you then want to hook up with him, or, you know, then kind of jump at the chance to be intimate? Like, why would that be your number one way that you wanted to go about it? Because I don't think that that ever works. And my friend actually had not slept with this guy, and now she has this guy, you know, begging her and apologizing and, you know, trying so hard to talk to her. And I think that that is because when someone doesn't respect you and they don't have that true care for you, it doesn't matter if you have sex with them. That's not going to change that or fix that. And I don't know, just kind of a messy situation, but I've seen this play out so many times that I know how this goes. And I think the biggest thing is, girls have created fuckboys, and that's just the sad truth. Women that allow themselves to kind of be used like that and to be kind of thought of as an object or as something sexual or as, you know, not a big deal or a hookup or something, someone chill, you know, that's just perpetuating this bad behavior, because a guy can then sleep with a girl that does that and then the next day be texting another girl saying, hey babe, like I miss you so much, you know, sorry I couldn't talk to you, whatever, I wasn't doing anything, I wasn't with anyone. And that's just such negative energy that's being put out into the world, and it honestly makes me so sad. And wow, you know, my heart goes out to those of you who are in the dating game right now and trying to find a good man and trying to, you know, find a good healthy relationship, because that's a tough space to be in. And I don't know how it's ever going to get better unless girls fix it and we take the initiative and we decide that we want to be respected, we want to, you know, be held to a higher standard, and we don't want to give in to guys that are being shady and that maybe are only using us for sex, because there's a 1,000,000% chance if he's doing that to you, there's like 10 other girls that he's also doing it to, and that's just kind of a sad fact. And yeah, I would love to hear any thoughts or comments on this below. I don't really know what's going to go on with my friend and that guy. If it was me in that situation, I mean, I wouldn't really go for that, because it's just not cool. I think if you've had a discussion about, you know, sleeping with other people or not, and then someone does it and they actually try to like lie and get away with it, whew, that's just a slippery slope to even start a relationship on, so I'm not sure why you'd even want to do that. So that's it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you think girls can combat fuckboys, and if you think women allowing guys to treat them like that has created this, you know, kind of toxic dating environment. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions below, and I'll see you guys in a video next time.